I've said this once before, and I'll say it again. Bambi 2 is better than the original Bambi film. And I know that some people are gonna be like,
well, actually, Bambi 2 got a 50% score on Rotten Tomatoes, so technically the movie's not really that good.
bitch, like I give a fuck about what Rotten Tomatoes says. Besides, I didn't even invite your pathetic ass in here anyway, so take your trash ass opinion and get the fuck out of my house! Oh, sorry about that, I lost a little bit of my cool there. Anyway, let's start the review. Bambi was one of Walt Disney's most treasured and beloved classics from the golden age of Disney full-length animated films. It followed the same route as Snow White, Pinocchio, Fantasia, Dumbo, and after Dumbo it was, well, Bambi. Oh wow, I just listed the first few Disney films in the correct order, holy shit. Anyway, the movie was released in 1942, and the story centers around a young fawn named Bambi who is raised by his mother and goes on little adventures within the depths of the forest habitat. Along the way, he learns how to speak, interact with nature, and even make some new friends too. However, as innocent and enjoyable Bambi is, the film does have some dark themes to it. An infamous example is the scene where Bambi's mother gets shot and killed. Yeah, that's Disney-friendly entertainment back in the 40s, everybody. But hang on, what am I talking about here? I'm here to discuss something that's related to this review's title. 64 years later, yes, 64 years way after Bambi's release, a sequel to the beloved film was in the works at Walt Disney Studios. The year was 2006, and at that time, Bambi 2 was finally released. I was only 2 years old when this fucking film came out, holy shit. Around that time, other animated movies such as Barnyard, Over the Hedge, Happy Feet, and Ice Age came out that same year. Shit, even 300 got released as well. The golden year of This Is Sparta memes. Anyway, I'm getting off topic here. Let's start talking about Bambi 2. First off, I think people don't really consider Bambi 2 to be an actual sequel to the first film, but honestly, I can see that, because at the end of the first film, we see Bambi as a grown-ass adult, now serving protection to all forest life and its inhabitants. And that got us all thinking that in the sequel, we were actually going to see what the grown-up version of Bambi was doing after all those childhood years of trauma he's experienced. But nope. We didn't get that. Instead, we actually got to see what Bambi was doing with himself before he grew up. In other words, we got to see what happened after the Great Prince took Bambi with him after his mother got killed. Which, to be honest, is a pretty interesting concept. We didn't see that in the first film. All we got was that one final scene of Bambi as a young fawn, scene fades to black, and then BAM! We see Bambi as a grown adult. So this movie is more so looked at as a prequel rather than an actual sequel to the first film, so that's already been figured out. Now, let's discuss my most favorite part of animated films, especially Disney ones, and that's the characters and their personalities. To be honest, in Bambi 2, the characters do stay the same way as they did back in the original film. Well, sort of. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Bambi spoke more frequently in this film. In the first one, he mostly answered to responses with either facial expressions or body movements, and we rarely hear him speak full words and sentences. But that's just different for what I'm trying to explain. What I want to talk about is the great selection of voice actors Disney chose for this film. And when I say great, I mean literally they're great. They're fucking outstanding. Let me explain. Bambi was voiced by Alexander Gould, the same person who voiced Nemo in Finding Nemo. This guy was 12 years old when he voice acted in this film. Jesus Christ, Bambi must have been in his preteen years. Now I see why he spoke so much. And you thought that was it for the familiar voice actors? Oh no, there's more. Friend Owl was voiced by Keith Ferguson, who also voices Blue in Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. You know, it's impressive how Keith's voice can go from this...
Of course not. What do I care if we get another letter from Eduardo? Where'd you get a crazy idea like that?
to this.
Just thought I'd let you know that the search is off to a flying start. Oh, well, no pun intended. It's with the flying as I'm now.
Man, what the fuck is you talking about?
The Great Prince was voiced by the legendary Patrick Stewart. He also shares the same voice as the main antagonist in the Nickelodeon movie Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius, King Goobot.
Oobla, stop it. It's toast.
When I tell you to run, you run. Never freeze like that.
And finally, the one I saved the best for last. You guys should know who I'm talking about. The guy who voiced Flower in Bambi 2 was none other than the well-known Nicky Jones. What? What do you mean you don't know who Nicky Jones is? Oh, do I have to remind you? If you guys remember correctly, Nicky Jones also did the voice of Chowder on Cartoon Network. Yeah, I know, it's crazy, huh? That just blew both of our fucking minds away. Yeah, literally, these two characters share the same voice actor. And honestly, it's not that hard to identify. You can almost hear Chowder's voice coming out of the mouth of a skunk, just more softer and innocent. I could just imagine what these two would sound like if their voices swapped.
See? I told you turtles were scary. Mom, I don't want to go down there. It's dark and creepy and it smells like death.
Yeah, again, not that hard to identify. Hey, you know, I've been spending so much time talking about the characters' voice actors that I didn't even explain to you or even tell you who the villain of this film was. Because of course, every Disney film should have at least one evil-spirited antagonist. You know, antagonists like Jafar, Hades, Maleficent, Shan Yu, Frollo. Those are some evil-ass motherfuckers right there. However, the villain in Bambi 2 is probably the most antagonistic out of those pathetic soulless fucks. The main antagonist in the Disney film Bambi 2 is none other than... What? That didn't surprise you? Because I thought it did. Yeah, this is the villain in Bambi 2. Well, actually, he wasn't really a soulless villain to begin with. He wasn't plotting against anything towards Bambi. He was just more of a, well, asshole to everyone. Let me explain. Rano is like the young teen of the film, but he's not really that nice. He's this cocky, bullying, punk-ass lying piece of shit that always just likes to mess around with the other characters in a rude and disrespectful kind of way. Just like how he was in the first Bambi film. He proves that he's the bravest around his quote-unquote friends, but really he's just a cowardly little bitch trying to show off his patheticness. But take a look at those different facial expressions. These show a lot about his character, and to be honest, it makes me laugh so fucking much just by looking at them, especially these smug faces. I am in love with these funny-ass smug facial expressions. They always put a smile on my face. But not when this little fuck starts screwing with my boy Bambi. No, I can't tolerate that. No, fuck you, Rano. Go to hell! I'm honestly baffled that this little shit didn't die off in the fucking forest fire that happened in the first film. That would have been an interesting death scene for a villain. But no, he just walks off in defeat with Bambi claiming his victory. You know, Rano in Bambi 2 may be an irritating asshole, but doing a Disney villain death by killing off a young fawn, that's kind of brutal. But hey, yet all Disney villain deaths are brutal, so what the fuck am I complaining about? Now it's time to discuss my favorite scenes in Bambi 2. Now, this was kind of a hard decision for me to choose what scenes from the film I love the most, because all of them were really, really good. So I'll just break down some of the scenes just to recap. First, there's the beginning scene, which is pretty touching. Here we see the continuation from the first film after Bambi's mother died. Yeesh, what a sentimental way to start a Disney film. Next, there's the wintertime scenes, and I gotta tell ya, these scenes were absolutely wholesome. Seeing Bambi just struggle to get through all the snow was just so funny to look at. It gives me vibes from the very first film when Bambi was discovering snow for the first time. Also, how did Thumper manage to hide for so long underneath all that snow? I mean, sure, I know he was just trying to hide from his little annoying-ass sisters, but still, he could have froze to death under there. Then there's the groundhog scene, where everyone in the forest gather around to watch the groundhog emerge from his hole, as if it was a big event happening or something. This is also where we see Feline for the first time in this film.
Hello, Bambi.
Bambi's just so scared. Look, he just turns around and he looks at Feline as if he was saying, "Where the fuck did you come from?" Look at his face! Finally, the groundhog rises up from his hole, covering his face horrified that his shadow might be in front of him.
More winter. More hibernating.
Flower doesn't give any shits. He just wants to go right the fuck back to sleep. He's just like me. He's just like me, for real! The groundhog then uncovers his eyes, looks down to realize that his shadow isn't there, and then a happy little spring song plays. Or as Disney calls it, gay. I mean, why did they say gay? I thought Disney hated the LGBTQ. And of course, to ruin the whole vibe, Ronald McBitch jumps in and scares the fuck out of the groundhog. Fucking Ronald. The scenes with Ronald were pretty hilarious to look at. Seeing him just trying to fit in with the others pathetically was just absolutely funny. Next, there's the scene where Bambi is taught how to be brave by Thumper. And before I continue, yes, I did skip the other two scenes where Bambi is having a dream about his mother and the following scene where he almost gets shot by the TF2 sniper.
Piss.
Again, I'm only recapping the scenes that I like, so don't get mad if your favorites aren't featured in this review. Anyway, Thumper shows Bambi how to be brave in the most funniest way possible. He does a little growling noise at Bambi to demonstrate how it works. Bambi tries to imitate it, but I think Bambi took it a little bit different. Flower tries to do it too, but he ends up defecating on a plant.
Ew. Flower, you just found your inner strength. Oh, gosh.
A few seconds later, Bambi tries to do it again, and he makes this noise. Okay, I'll admit, I haven't seen a deer in real life in a long time, but I don't even think that's what deer sound like. Literally, when Bambi made that noise, he sounded like a fucking goat. I think Bambi is gonna need a little bit more practice. Hence to what Thumper said.
You're gonna need a lot of practice.
Then they all start acting like big animals, with Thumper thinking he's a mountain lion, Bambi thinking he's a bear, and Flower thinking he's a turtle. Because apparently, according to him, turtles are fucking terrifying.
What? Turtles are so scary.
Okay, so Flower has kelanophobia. Fantastic. No, literally, that's an actual phobia. I'm dead fucking serious. Literally, this is an actual phobia that exists. I just looked this up right now, and apparently the extreme fear of turtles is called kelanophobia. Oh my god. I am absolutely stunned by this. Oh my god, Flower would be so terrified if he went to the Super Mario universe and he just saw a bunch of Koopas walking towards him. After that, there's a little montage of them walking around acting brave in front of everyone, with the animals going like, what the fuck? In the next scene, Ronald's bitch ass comes back and teases the hell out of Bambi for what he did when he almost got shot out in the meadow. He then says,
If we didn't have cowards, we couldn't tell who the brave ones are.
Thumper then shoves Bambi from behind, which results in him shoving Ronald into a mud puddle. And now Bambi's gonna get his ass beat. Ronald chases both Bambi and Thumper through the whole forest, but then they both stop as they see a big gap in the middle of their route of escape. You think Bambi is done for? Oh, you're dead fucking wrong. Bambi literally jumps over that entire gap and makes it to the other side. God damn, that's impressive. You know, I saw this scene many times that it made me want to do something that I've always wanted to do.
Better throw my hand in, wish me happy landing. All I gotta do is jump!
A Disney reference in a Disney movie. Ah! Ronald then attempts to do the jump Bambi did, but fails miserably. Ha! Punk ass bitch, you deserve it! The next scene is just the Great Prince teaching Bambi how to be more observant and focused. And the way Bambi does it is just so damn funny, it gives me a laugh every time. Nothing much to talk about this scene. After that, we get another song sequence with Bambi and the Great Prince having a little father and son bonding time. This was another scene I liked in the film. It just shows how much care the Great Prince has for Bambi no matter what he goes through. Yeah, so this scene is pretty wholesome. Oh my god, it's you again. How the hell did you come back? I thought your dumbass fell down that dirty ass mud pit. Eh, whatever, it's not like I cared for your punk ass anyway. Then there's a nighttime scene that only plays for at least a minute, so it's not really that long compared to the other ones I discussed so far. The next scene is just like the one I talked about before. It's just Bambi and the Great Prince having fun like always. That is until Friend Owl shows up and the Great Prince quickly changes back to his firm behavior. I just love how he's just being goofy to Bambi personally, but then when someone else walks in, he just goes back to being serious. He's just like, oh, just having a little fun with my son. Oh shit, someone's coming. Gotta go back to being an important figure to life. After that, Friend Owl then tells the Great Prince that he found someone to take Bambi away with him. I'm sorry, what? Yeah, a deer named Mina comes in and tells Bambi right in front of him that she's here to take him to a new home.
You're sending me away?
Jesus, that was the most distraught response I've ever heard come out of Bambi. He just sounds so saddened that the Great Prince no longer wants him.
That's all you care about, not about me.
Don't you speak to me.
I wish Mother was here instead of you.
Oof, Jesus, talk about daddy issues. The next scene after that is pretty sad. Bambi says his final goodbyes to all of his old friends before he goes away with Mina, and what Thumper said just caused a bullet to get shot straight through my heart's configurations.
And if you get scared, just be scarier than whatever's scaring you.
Oh god, the feels, the motherfucking feels! Then Bambi finally leaves and goes away forever. Or so he thought. Before he can even leave, Ronald walks out of nowhere out of a bush because why not have the most antagonistic villain bully the shit out of the main character 4 more times? He tells Bambi that he wanted to say goodbye. My ass. He just teases Bambi once again, now saying that he felt sorry for him having a father that was so ashamed of him that he'd give him away. Good god, that's just hurtful. Now you see why I hate this cocky son of a bitch so much. But Bambi ain't gonna take that bullshit. Bambi fucking snaps and he shoves Ronald once again, now commencing a fight sequence to happen. It's just like the one from the first Bambi film, the only difference is that the characters are younger. Yeah, get his ass, Bambi! Show that little punk ass piece of shit some manners! Yeah! Fucking mow him down! During the fight, they accidentally push Mina into a snare, which alerts all the hunters in the area that they finally got themselves a kill. And here comes the part where I mean Ronald's a cowardly prick. As soon as he hears those dogs barking, he shouts, "Mommy!" Yeah, that's right. Run, bitch! Fucking pussy. Then we get another chase scene with all the hunter dogs targeting after Bambi. It's really intense to watch just seeing Bambi trying to escape. Bambi then reaches a dead end at the edge of a mountain as a vicious dog leers aggressively at him, ready for the kill. Bambi ain't no pussy though. He shoves that motherfucker down the goddamn mountain with no hesitation. That is some true courage right there. And now Bambi is safe. Oh, or not. The Great Prince then comes down to the cliff and sees Bambi on the ground, lifeless and hurt. There's a lot of somber music playing in the background of this scene. Everyone comes in to see the disaster, and the Great Prince sheds a tear, now confirming that Bambi is dead.
Dad.
Oh wait, false alarm, he's not dead. Finally, we get to the last scene of the movie, where everyone gathers around listening to Thumper recap what Bambi did in the previous scene. Oh, speak of the devil, here's Bambi right now, and holy shit, he's got antlers now. Well, barely. Then this porcupine pricks Bambi in the ass, and oh, we got some lovey-dovey shit going on, oh! Then of course, because we couldn't get enough, Ronald comes back once again. Literally, this is like the 5th time he's shown up. Jesus, can you just die already? Okay, that sounded a little bit morbid, I'ma chill now. Ronald then steps on a turtle, causing him to fall and land the turtle right on his snout. And then the turtle bites it.
Get it off! Get it off! Mommy, get it off! Mommy!
Well, Flower wasn't lying. Turtles aren't animals to be fucked around with. I mean, he literally just confirms it to everyone, saying,
See, I told you turtles were scary.
Now, the one thing I loved from this entire scene was what Thumper had said about his sisters. He literally says,
You know, they're okay for sisters. Just too bad they're girls. Hey.
Jesus, talk about feminism jokes, God. Later on, the Great Prince takes Bambi to a place that he's familiar with. He says that this was the area where he first met Bambi's mother, somewhere around his age. Then we get a final song sequence with the last verse of the song There Is Life. And with that, marks the end of Bambi 2. Overall, I think Disney did a really great job with this film. For 14 years, I still love it to this day. The movie was so majestic and heartwarming that you just couldn't help but to cry happily. And if I didn't already mention, deers are my favorite animal, and this movie was the reason. I still love the very first Bambi film from the 40s, but I love the second one more only because this was the movie that I mostly grew up watching. And it introduced me to the character Bambi more. And if you guys remember at the beginning of this video, I had this Bambi plush just sitting on top of my legs. I had him for like, what, 15 years now? He's starting to wear off a little. Look at his head. Also, at the end of my bed, I have a big-ass Thumper plushie just sitting there, along with my Aladdin bed sheets. Anyway, that's it for the review, everybody. If you guys want to see more of these kinds of videos, consider hitting the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. I also have Instagram and Twitter if you guys want to head on over to the Warp Zone and follow me there. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See you guys later!